Alrighty, howdy there, folks. Howdy, howdy. This is Ambiguous Influence, and continuing with the Pillars of Eternity randomized playthrough.
Alright then.
So we are in the White March right now, and we had just last episode talked to Galvinio, gotten the Devil of Karok as our final follower, and now we're ready to do the rest of the White March DLC. Actually, before I head out, I probably will swap Devil of Karok out for someone else. Let me take a look at what we had her stats at. Now she has Mechanics 6, I think I'll keep her around just to have the extra person with Mechanics. I might swap... Yeah, I think I'll swap Sagani out for Grieving Mother. Check what's going on with the... Stronghold.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you? Top quality bear.
Farewell.
And do I want Zawa? Not at this moment. Give everyone a rest bonus. Get Mother leveled up real quick. That's going to be stealth. And only 4 of those can take a 5. That's going to be stealth again. So we have Tactical Meld, and... Yes, Detonate! Ringleader's also really good. It's a faux AoE Dominate and Charm. But Detonate and Tactical Meld are pretty good too. So Tactical Meld is 20% accuracy when attacking the same enemy as the target for half a minute. So we target a ally. And Detonate is just raw damage against the target enemy.
Hey.
Okay.
I'm right here.
Hey.
So first we're actually going to head into the Russet Wood. Explore around there, probably do the Ogre Camp, and then do Long Watch Falls, and then proceed into the Battery proper. Gotta go out westward. Go fast mode. Oh yeah, I also have to awaken one of the Pargon Dwarves, in the soul of them in the village.
Hey.
Do some scouting. Ooh, Bitter Spirits. Do the standard focus fire. Alrighty.
Of course.
The simple shrine is covered in a thick layer of snow, fallen leaves and feathers. A pair of curving bones flanks the altar. Examine the shrine more closely. The shrine does not appear to be frequented often, though traces of old candle wax line the edges of the stone. Under dusting and frost, you note a rectangular section of the altar's surface that seems to be cleaner than the rest, as if something once rested there. Touch the altar. You feel a tingle run up your arm as you set fingers to the altar. In the instants after, the wind seems to die down, the sounds of the wilderness growing muted to your hearing. Then you will hear a sudden, low growl, quickly joined by more. The vision strikes you like a sudden memory, though it is unbound by time or place. Within a sea of darkness, you see a great beast, formless save for its gleaming fangs. It prowls and snaps with increasing desperation and savagery, and for a moment you feel its rage as your own, a possessive fury that tears at you. Something has been taken, your territory threatened, and the price for it will be blood. The vision fades as swiftly as it came. The altar stands silent and still, and the air fills again with the occasional trill of birdsong.
Hey.
Grab some reeds. And that's just to the battery itself. Come on down here.
Brave does Philod believe.
Did they all let them come to us? Oh my, that's quite a number. A fireball will be a number. I don't know, fireball always seems somewhat disappointing in this game. Yeah, let's go for that. Haravius, if you're the cat. Heal. That.
That's how it's done.
Oh. Let's escape over to here.
This isn't working.
Forgot how squishable those are. Everyone just focus fire.
My mind.
Kind of summon up a phantom. Detonate the young guy's beetle. Okay, there we go.
That's how it's done.
And defeat the Matrice beetle. Kind of switch your weapons.
Hey.
Better try something else.
Hey.
Nothing but expert tactics on this channel, folks. Nothing but expert tactics. Winter Wolf. The wolf flies in the snow, panting with exhaustion and pain. An arrow has pierced his foreleg, jutting gruesomely from the animal's flank. The wolf growls softly as approached, tail between its legs. Put the wolf out of its misery. You take hold of the wolf's scruff, trying to hold it in place, but the creature panics. In its desperate thrashing, it rips free of your grip and promptly lunges at you. As you hold the arrow in your hand, it vibrates with a strange and familiar energy. Searching your pack, you find the bow that came upon at the top of the tower near Durgan's battery. As you hold the bow and arrow together, the arrow suddenly snaps into place. You hear a crackling hum, and a pale ribbon of light begins to form between the ends of the bow. When you put the arrow back, you feel a solid resistance. You have gained the item Stormcaller. Stormcaller. So this is a soulbound. It can be bound to a chanter, a cipher, or a ranger. I actually am going to have it bound with Grieving Mother. Okay, so for right now, it's merely a exceptional that deals shock pierce damage. This bow is smooth and light as driftwood, yet as hard as sturdy and mast. It feels warm to your hands, as if one of its previous owner had just passed it to you. As you hold it, you can almost feel the sea spray of your cheeks and hear stormward waves in your ears. We have to deal 250 shock damage to enemies with Stormcaller to unlock the next level of it. Alrighty. Let's back to the russet woods. Okay, so this is the lake that was mentioned by the quote-unquote Andrite gift bearers. Oh, good. We're not explaining. Last time. Because I believe it is. Let's give some ground, let them come out so we can get more than one person targeting them.
Need something?
You turn into a kitty cat man.
Hey.
Thank you.
You're not getting through me.
Okay.
Hey.
And howdy there, folks. How y'all doing tonight?
Cool.
Okay, these things are too bad. Do want to have Connor switch back to his pistol, though.
Hey.
Russetwood Crater.
Great.
You're not
Other
getting
one?
through me. Of course.
In one of those fights, we did get the message that the merchant stalls had completed construction, so let's get something else going with the craft hall.
Hey.
Not seeing anything interactable there, so let's head up here. The tooth marks upon the deer suggest
Hey.
a large predator. Spy a tuft of fur caught on the shrub. You recognize the scent of wolf. Okay. It's down here.
Brave.
And a feral druid. Let's target the feral druid. Alrighty. Let's just focus fire then.
You should have run!
Alrighty. Fine hunting bow, fine hide armor, just a stag helm.
Of course.
Hide. Speckleback jerky.
Let's see what lies this way.
Nothing. Check up here. Fun. Trolls. Have her do her self heal. Before she gets, wrecked. Okay. Yeah, I'll focus up this guy.
Ready when you are.
Bring a phantom in. This come down with the flank.
I have.
The dare do a knock.
Should have run.
Have y'all take advantage of dominate. Thought he was dead.
Yes.
Now he's dead.
Let's unveil.
And everyone comes fast. There we go.
Hey,
Oh, right. So. Okay, so Stormcaller leveled. So it now can twice per rest let you cast Bulwark against the elements, which is just protection from elements. And then we either kill 25 enemies with it or kill 5 Kith Druids with it to get to the next level.
hey. Hey,
Might as well read the new description for it. Once Stormcaller belonged to a young navigator on a merchant ship in the Deadfire Archipelago. She had an almost preternatural gift for predicting the weather. She could smell a storm brewing a day's journey away. On her final voyage, she detected a cyclone forming in their path. She instructed the captain to change course and seek shelter in a nearby strait, which he did. Unfortunately, a pirate ship was waiting there. The merchant vessel was boarded and its crew slain.
hey.
Don't see many on these roads, and the few we do are hunters, woodcutters, or smugglers.
Tefala, is it? You're the slaver who's after Aleph.
And here I was thinking we'd found the last pleasant company on the road. I'm after him, all right.
Her hand drops to her gun.
He's going to answer for his crimes in Raid Ceres, and one way or another, you're going to stay out of my way.
Too bad for you.
At him!
Okay.
Braved out
That's how it's done.
I think for the most part these are just basic fighter folk. Nothing really special about them. Should really try to get more flanking done with Devil of Carrick. And if there's any audio issues, just let me know, folks.
All right, then.
Yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary then. Okay,
Anyone fancy a dip?
yeah, this was the lake. As you walk toward the frozen pond, a figure appears through the mist. Kneeling down next to a hole on the ice, the figure picks up a large chest and throws it into the water without hesitation. The figure looks around. You glimpse a face you've seen before. Quetzalcoatl, one of Lofta's acolytes, pulling a hood over his head and throws a large leather bag over his shoulder. Without looking back, he walks away in the direction of Stalwart Village. Cloudy water is visible through a large hole cut through the thick ice. It is larger than a fishing hole, wider than a broad-set omawa. Stirred, the surface of the water laps against the layered ice. You reach out to touch the water. It nips at your fingers with every ripple, quickly numbing your hand after a few seconds. Look through the water to the bottom of the pond. The water is swirly, salty, and nearly opaque. The water is swirly, silty, and nearly opaque. You attempt to see through the murk, but you can make out nothing in particular. Inspect the area. You carefully inspect your surroundings. Animal tracks look plentiful, but what appear to be footprints of kith are also present near the hole. Looking closer into the hole, you notice a jagged ring of frost adhering to its walls. It has been rebroken, perhaps more than once. Dive in and search the bottom of the pond. Cast spell against the elements before diving in. I will cast it. You begin to draw energy out of the ether, funneling it into your grimoire until you feel the power flood outward from it, bathing you in a protective aura. You dip your hand into the water. You can feel its ripples climbing up your skin, but you notice no change in temperature, as the water itself has become lukewarm. It's cold. The cold, it seems, is no longer a threat. Let's see. Who am I going to send in there? Did I say Adair? Adair dives into the water and disappears in the turbulent darkness. In its embrace, however, it feels lukewarm and almost welcoming. Protected by the smell, Adair manages to swim with ease to the bottom of the pond. Directly below the hole, at the very bottom, Adair's hands find heavy objects made of wood and metal. They are chests, small but heavy. Adair starts to bring them up to the surface one by one, struggling to carry the weight through the water. After a heroic effort, Adair comes out of the frozen pond. You let a few minutes pass to recover from the ordeal, and then you're ready to inspect your findings. The chests are marked with symbols of Antra. You grab one of them and pry its lid open to reveal its contents. Inside, all you see are rocks. You shake the surprise off and grab another chest. The same result greets you after opening it. More rocks and nothing of value. Something is assuredly amiss. As proof of your findings, you take one of the empty chests with you.
Hey.
So if you missed last episode, basically what the gift bearers are supposed to be doing is casting objects that symbolize memories that people want forgotten into the waves. And these are just thieves stealing those articles. Crag Ogre. A group of elves stands in a scattered ring around the ogre, but they do not appear to be engaged in battle. The ogre is bound with rope, and one of the elves tugs harshly on the line tied around the ogre's neck. This is pointless, beast. You won't get anywhere for being stubborn. The ogre only snorts angrily and pulls back on the rope. Two other elves prod him somewhat timidly with their poleaxes. The ogre does not budge. Hey, Vamrel. One of the elves has turned to look at you, mentioning at the man occupied with the ogre. The elf turn to look at you, hands falling to the weapons. Vamrel gives a final sharp yank on the rope before he turns as well. Need some help? A kind offer, but we have it under control. The beast came along meekly enough before. I'll have it so again shortly. A rather sad specimen for an ogre. He came cheap. We need the muscle. Gods know they're good for little else. Farmel gives the rope another tug. The ogre's already impressive skull deepens. The ogres of the Endless Pass were hardy stock. Perhaps its craggy cousins are more delicate. It's the elves who should be ashamed. This is slavery. I don't care if it's a violent monster. The ogre gives a great bellow and suddenly lunges backward, tearing into the rope free of his captor's hands. With a triumphant roar, the ogre pulls apart the bindings on his arms. Look what you've done! Oh dear, I think That worked a little too well. Suck, Theo, but don't damage my property, and bring me that fool's head. Yeah, get it. So let's let them keep busy as long as possible. Come on, folks, you can do it. Ooh, that was a great swing.
Hey.
Have him go kitty cat now that all eyes are on us. Have him get into melee with musket cruiser.
Hey.
Alright, and that is that. Bitter cut, and mainly some money.
Hey.
Boots of speed, some lockpicks
Hey.
and some cash. The stones are strangely warm to the touch, though most of the runes are indecipherable, a few look like names.
Need something? Hey.
Fine hatchet. Journal page. Day 4. Took down another stack today. Still not enough hides to make this trip worth it. Day 6. Blizzard coming. Stay put until it passes. Day 9. Close call with a pair of ogres. Luckily they didn't see us. Day 11. Tracking a large bear that Nurin spotted from the ridge. Might even be Greyjaw. My grandfather told stories about him. Wouldn't that be something if we were the ones to finally kill it? Day 12 is simply Greyjaw. We're dangerously close to the ogre cavern, and where we've got Greyjaw trapped and his hide is too valuable to pass up. The three of us should be able to handle one bear. But apparently not. Have a deer go in first. There we go. If you go in, have you circle around. Y'all attack.
This one.
Get some free hits with domination. There we go.
Hey.
Greyjaw's hide. Fetch a high price.
Hey.
ogre.
All right then.
Nothing will slip past me.
Check up here. Actually, I might as well rest since both Haravius and Devil have fairly low hit points. Grab those supplies. Okay, so this is the Ogre Caverns.
Yeah? This fight is mine!
Have you heal up there.
Need some.
Get mode. Start heading over there. Everyone else head over there.
Right here.
Of course.
Okay, check out the rest of the map. Gently with the fingers, they're the best part I don't want. A slow smile creeps across her face as you approach. The other men and women turn to look at you, their mouths filthy with blood and gobbets of flesh. Why, hello there, handsome. What brings you to this part of the russet wood? Why don't you tell me what brings you here? The god of death has willed that we are to remain here as servants of the pallid knights. There is a path to the wheel that some stray from, patrons of animacy, the very old, the blindly lucky. We set them right, and Bareth allows us to consume them, that we might continue his work until it is decided that we too have overstayed. But until then, we relish the journey. Gilligan Lily, mostly. Oh, how nice. She's staring at you intently now, and doesn't appear to have heard your answer. Orlin. I've never tasted Orlin flesh before. I wonder if boiling you first would get rid of all that fur. Are you crazy? If you boil me, you'll lose all the flavor. You want to peel the skin off with a... However, shifts his eyes back and forth. I should think before I talk. Remind me. I don't want to fight you. Good. We'll kill you quick. You won't feel a thing. Okie dokie. So, we have a bunch of Dargruls and 2 vampires. This one's a paladin, but this one looks like a wizard. So for the most part, I'm going to target the wizard. Oh wow, that is a lot of Dargruls. Someone... Oh yeah, it was Zawa who had the priest initiate feat, which is none of us, so... Evel.
My mind feels...
You'll do your self-heal. Dare's stuck in. Should have done this at the start. Get a fan. Kana's charmed, of course.
Need
something. Almost back. Let me try.
Counter, you free? Good. Get a phantom brought in.
That's how it's done.
Got it off in time. Good.
Kind of stuck over here. No longer.
You don't say.
This won't hold me for long.
Okay, and this right here, folks, is why we do quick saves. 10 days, 14 hours, 10 days. Yep.
Of course.
Brave thou Philox.
This fight is mine.
Okay, I'm going to attack that crag ogre. And take out the cannoneer. Oh wow, that took out Clarence.
Hey. All right then.
Sorry, I'm going to check. What's the kill count at? Okay, 3 so far.
Hey.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
I'm going to check out the rest of the map first before going back to that vampire encounter. Come from the south at this time, see if there's any better vantage point.
Now what's this all about?
Scroll of revival, and then just some supplies. The cracked wooden staff is nearly buried beneath the frost and snow. To your senses, the gathered essence shines like a beacon. Touch the broken staff. You reach out with your watcher's senses and feel the drifting soul surge forward as if eager to be heard. The feeling of fear and urgency ripples through you. Here, across the distance spanned by time and identity, you know only that you are out of time.
Did you think to escape me by climbing a mountain? I would have tracked you across the sea, thief.
Please, Master, have mercy. I kept the grimoire hidden safely away, and I can take you to it.
The book is nothing. If you had studied a little longer, you might have learned that. But no apprentice of mine will steal from me and live.
Wait, no!
And Ninengoth just happens to be the name of a archmage in this setting. So, Okay, give a quick save before heading up here. Okay. Do the same things I did before. Okay, so let's actually back up this time. Okay.
All right then.
Let's outrun Kana.
Hey.
Awesome. When all else fails, be sneaky and exploit the engine. That's what I say. Allow them to come to us for the most part. Take them out. Okay, I'm gonna manually you here for a bit. There we go. I'll target the Beguiler.
Ready when you are.
If you heal, if you continue attacking, summon in a phantom.
Need something?
Do a Stormcast. Have her heal. You heal. Heal.
Need something?
She's down, he's still up. Summon in another phantom. Adair knock down the Beguiler.
The druid has fallen.
This weapon's no good to me. I'll take worse than wrong.
I mean, I'm dead here, but might as well just go on fighting. And paralyzed. That's the hard thing about these Dargles, is that they can all paralyze you, and there's so freaking many of them. 3, 4, 5, at least 6 of them. So I'm going to give this encounter one more go. If I don't make it this time, I'm just going to...
Your neighbors hound you because you say the wrong prayers at supper time.
If it wasn't that, it'd be something else. Just their way of letting you know they care.
Then some cross-eyed lord gets to stringing up your neighbors.
A couple of them were ones that had been hounding me, so that worked out at least.
And if I don't make it this time, I'm just going to leave it be for now and come back later.
Brave thou Philoth nearly.
Oh yes, yes. Draw them out. Take them out. Yes.
All right, then.
So tell me, folks, what's your favorite kind of cheese? Personally, I really like Muncher cheese.
Brave thou
Just
Philoth nearly.
tasty, soft, just that mild sweetness to it.
This thing isn't doing the job.
There's defensive there. Everyone else goes ham on Gander. If you would blind him. Good. Let's take out these Dorgals then.
Just say the... Hey.
Dare's probably gonna fall. I don't have any quick items on him. Y'all keep attacking. Dare's still up. I will have Gravius cast one of them healings. Oh.
I'll chew the gristle off your skull.
You did well there, Dare. You did well. Everyone just focus fire best you can. I also enjoy a good smoked Gouda. That's always nice.
Consider it dead.
Dublin or cheddar, I mean, you can't go wrong with that one right there. Really great cheeses out there.
Yeah?
Hey.
Okay, let everyone recover their endurance a bit here. Ooh, box. Yeah, I think now it's just her.
Ready when you are.
Exceptional Morning Star, exceptional plate armor. Okay, so you have DR10 versus DR16 with only a 10% recovery time loss. So yeah, let's get you in there.
Hey,
Let's head up here. And so, with the power of engine exploitation, we overcame a great peril.
Brave Dalphila.
Attack the caster.
Stand still.
Leave it to me.
Ooh, dear, you got mauled right there. Dare if we were to attack them, everyone else just focus fire on the wolf. Oh, sorry, wind blight, not wolf. I'll focus fire on the wolf.
Leave it to me.
Alrighty.
of course.
I'll keep an eye out.
Scouting mode, see if we see anything. Alright. This is the wolf's den, I believe. Standing tall amongst the wolves inhabiting the cavern, this creature turns to face you as you venture forward. Scores of wounds and scars riddle its hide, and one dull eye stares out blindly from its skull. It growls a threat as you approach, one echoed by its fellows. You know this half-wolf for the spirit-shifted form of a druid, though you see no gleam of kith intelligence within its gaze. At the creature's feet lie two villagers, one heavily wounded. The other holds one arm across his stomach, and he looks up at you with pleading in his eyes.
Please help us!
As the beast turns its head back towards the hunter, you sense a strange aura emanate from it. It is as if its hide were holding in its tempest a soul essence, fierce and all-consuming as the flame. Reach out to the beast's soul. It takes a little effort before the beast's soul threatens to overwhelm you with its intensity. Wrath and hunger fit you from all sides until you reach through the storm to find a smaller, dimmer pulse of light and are swept headlong into a memory. The chill bites into your cheeks, and your lungs turn a little from the run. You look down at the little wooden carving in your hands, and you rub your thumb across the edge of the carved bear's spine. The totem has already brought you luck. You found 2 rabbits and as many snares, and that's a rare feat, enough feat these days. You'll certainly know that this was a gift from Gallowayne, though you were meant to find it on that lonely shrine and take it. Your father's voice snaps out of your reflection, and you rush forward to rejoin him behind the campfire. You brandish the hairs and catch a glimpse of a rare smile under his graying beard. But the smile disappears almost immediately as a shadow falls over you both. You feel the rush of wind a moment before the log comes crashing down, and roll out of the way just in time. You hear your father cry out in pain somewhere nearby. Both the hairs and the totem slip from your grasp. You can feel the power surging within you. Your heart thunders in your chest, but instinct pulls your senses into order, and you feel the familiar stretch of limbs and sudden dizzying shift in height, but something is wrong. Your senses are fading rather than growing stronger. There's a howling in your head like a screaming chorus, and everything in you shrieks for you to bite, to tear, to eat. The memory slips from you, and when you come back to yourself, the beast is shaking its head as if to clear an itch clawing at its ears. throw a torch as a distraction. You fling a torch at the beast, and it gives a sharp yelp as the torch bounces off its hide with a burst of embers. The beast leaps away from the hunters, stumbling in its panic, but the wolves surge forward, snarling. Okay. Let's take care. Okay, that was entertaining.
That's how it's done.
So I wonder if this will count towards the kills for
Following your lead.
Storm or whatever.
Of course.
So let's see if I can get the kill with
My mind feels sharp as
Yep.
steel.
So let's see if that counted towards that. Looks like it did.
Hey.
So there's another way to end this quest where if you have that in the soul, you'll be able to back away. And I believe down by the hunter's camp you can actually find the totem that was stolen from the Shrine of Gallowayne and return it, which allows him to shift back. But the dice said throw a torch, so guess what? We threw a torch. Okay, so let's go into the Ogre Cavern. Just checking where everyone is level-wise.
My part of the country has a saying about Orlands. Face of skin, let him in.
I'll keep an eye out.
There's one here who deals in visions, dreams. I feel her mind near mine.
The petrified skull is as cold and hard as stone. Back's tears dribble from the eye sockets.
Varanthus! Varanthus!
You just open that door.
You should.
Hey.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet.
Oh my, that is many a people. Move in, have you move in.
That's how it's done.
Just give him the old focus fire. Yes.
Hey.
And there goes it air. Cannoneer.
Your thoughts.
take that hoof.
Yeah?
You obviously already went cat this fight, so we can do that. Folks, just take out the ogre.
Need something? That's how.
And get Phantom in. That'll do. Phantom if you cut these guys. Oh, this guy went out.
Brave thou Philon.
Kinda switch over to your sword. And kinda switch back over to the pistol.
Following your lead. Stand still.
Breathe. That's how. It's done. Baru beyond sea.
Okay, and everyone just focus fire.
Yes?
Summon forth another Phantom Cannon.
This fight is mine. I'll chew the gristle off your skull. I'll chew the gristle off your skull.
Hey,
Alrighty.
of course.
I'll keep an eye out.
Might as well try this one.
Got it done.
Exceptional medium shield, topaz and some gold.
If you say so.
And she can't get that one, unfortunately. I'm gonna rest here with some camping supplies.
You're a newcomer to the Deerwood as well. What do you make of it so far?
These people are lunatics, so I've met the locals. I don't know that they're so bad. There's a lot of fuss made over the Deerwood temper, but they seem to save it up largely for each other. They're a rather refreshing bunch otherwise. I think I've whiled away an hour or two talking to the regulars in one tavern or another, and everyone from the merchant to the servant has an opinion to share.
Hey.
Okay.
Laying low.
You gotta see this.
Ah! That's rare for this party. Okay. So yeah, let's head over here. Two cannoneers.
Yeah.
If you get the knockdown, hit the rockets, that one. Y'all misfire.
You should have run.
Take advantage of domination. Haravius healed up. Have everyone else target the Cannoneer. Target this guy then. Adair, if you would do a knockdown. Awesome. Haravius now can back away.
That's how it's done.
Alrighty.
Of course.
The inside of this minecart is caked with blackened grease. It smells of burnt fat.
Keeping an eye out.
This fight is.
Okay, take this guy out. Somehow we did not aggro this chanter, which I'll take it. She's dominated, so just keep attacking. There we go.
Hey.
Sugar, some cheese. Let's see what's up here. Quiet. Oh, just some stairs. So this is a way down to the basement level. You can also go down through that hole as well. But you know what? I always go down through the hole. So what? You know what? Let's take the stairs this time. Okay. Adair, I want you to target that cannoneer.
Yeah.
Y'all just keep the focus.
You should.
He's good. We got him dead before the frenzy.
Uh-huh.
And just take down the cannoneer. There we go.
Hey.
Some copper, some supplies.
Let's see what lies this way.
If you say so.
The low mechanics continues to be just the bane of this party's existence. Dig, 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 digging all day. Severed horn. This horn was once melted on a helm, but looks to have been severed off in battle. Garub. The world around you blurs and fades to black. When your vision returns, you find yourself in a small wooden hut, its interior dimly lit by the embers in a nearby fire pit. You're wearing mail armor several sizes too large for you, and clutching your hands is an ivory horn of some sea creature, one end sharpened to a point. What are you doing, Garub? Your sister, Kathia, hurtles near you, her wide eyes fixated on the hut's door, which has been barred shut. The door shudders and splinters beneath heavy blows coming from the other side. Enraged growling can be heard just beyond the door. All at once, the world halts around you. The pounding stops. Wooden splinters from the door hang suspended in the air. Kathia no longer trembles, no longer breathes, her eyes fixed in place like a doll's. The wisp of essence you had followed to this point in your memory has dwindled to little more than a faint trail. However, you find by concentrating on what might have happened next, you are able to sense whether it truly did. Wait. No sooner does your mind touch the possibility that the world lurches back into motion and a thunderous impact flashes strikes the door. The door crashes inward as the young girl screams. A large creature, resembling a bear and taller than any man in your tribe, steps into the hut with a triumphant roar. Attack the creature. The creature chortles and counters your attack with its massive paw, swatting you across the hut. Kathia dodges past the creature and escapes the hut. Each breath is agony, but you clutch the horn defiantly as the creature advances. The snarling of the creature and your own belabored breathing fades. Is that how it happened? It's been so long, hard to remember. I had a vision when I picked up a horn. Part of a helm, apparently. A helm, yes, my helm, I remember it. But who was I? Why haven't I returned to the wheel? Maybe if you knew who you were, you would know whether it was time to move on. That helm is all that remains of my old life. If you have found some of me within one piece, perhaps my memories are scattered with the rest of it. Perhaps there is peace to be found in its reassembly. I'll track down the other parts of your helm. Thank you, my friend. So, this helm is part of a quest where across the White March Part 1 you can find the 3 pieces. And the responses you give actually determine its final stats. But for now, we have aggroed. I said, thank you. I said we had aggroed. You almost missed your cue there, Crag Ogre.
This fight is mine!
All right,
Copper
then.
and some copper. Peridot, bloodstone, amethyst. Gemstones glitter between the veins of iron ore. They're deeply embedded within the cave wall, and extracting them all intact require a hammer and chisel as well as a deft touch. Use a hammer and chisel to carve the gemstones out of the wall. You managed to retrieve all the gemstones without damaging any of them. So we got some topaz and some valoon.
Hey.
Let's
I'll stay
continue
out of
exploring
sight.
here. Oh, you screen trap. Okay, let's take out here. Yep, just got dominated. Get some free hits in. There we go. And take out the chanter. Got into side of more chanters in my greed to get a flank for my shitty rogue. Oh wow, that really took out her obvious. Okay, let's just delete this chanter.
Leave it to me.
There we go.
You should have run!
Hey. Hey.
Good thing I'm freshly greased.
Yet another crack ogre that we are approaching while her obvious still has enough damage on him, because of course we are.
You should have run!
There we go.
All right, then.
Okay, it's topped off.
Nothing will slip past me.
Lake. something sounds strange and mystical.
You gotta see this.
Thank you, Clarence. Okay, so we can't even really
Hey.
disarm them. Okay.
Right here.
Yeah?
Hey, Dare, you're a hit
Hey.
point sponge.
Hey.
Something's aggroed. Oh, eye splites. Wonderful.
You're not.
Just the good old focus.
You're not.
This fight is mine!
Yet I bleed.
Hey. Hey.
Nothing will slip past me.
Okay. And this is basically the stairs up to where the ogre matron is behind that locked door. Let's keep exploring for just a bit. Fast mode activate.
Oh, look at here.
Okay.
Need something?
So actually,
Hey.
Following your
I
lead.
don't know, you actually have the most like health right now, so I'll send you.
Our giant has been overwhelmed!
I cannot keep up this pace.
Hey.
Interesting.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
And down here at the underground lake, there's a lot
You're
of
not-
Morgenfoth.
Not getting from me.
Here we want to tear through there as quickly as possible. Take out the cleric. Okay.
All right then.
Turn fast.
Hey.
And yeah, we're definitely resting.
Good thing I'm freshly greased.
Yeah, and I think they also have like low darts, which paralyze people too. Yep, those low darts. Yeah. Just so many things about them that are just obnoxious. Like, it makes sense. I get it. It's smart. But it's annoying.
Hey. course.
So I believe if you took the hole down, you would like land here.
I'll stay out of sight.
Actually, I wonder how this weapon's coming. Okay, 12 out of 25, making progress, slow but steady. Like you can min-max some of those soulbind kills by just hiding and stuff, but in general, just law of averages, you're gonna get them over time anyways.
Hello? Hello? I've been poisoned.
Just keep the
You're not getting through me.
focus fire going. I actually will take advantage of the domination there. Let's take out the priest. Oh, we're still here. Of course we're here, obvious. Knockdown. Blind. Batman.
You're not getting through. Hey.
Scrying chamber key. This key is the size of a large dagger and is unusually heavy.
All right then.
So I think that's if you just want to go in the front door. That's the key to it.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
So if you're not familiar why I keep saying Kitty Cat Man for when I have Heravius going to Stelgar, it is a reference to an old bit from Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job, which if you have never seen, either go do so or do not, because
All right.
it's a taste. It is very much old mid-2000s anti-humor. Icy shaft leads up into darkness. Walls of the Shetros looking handholds are few. There's no way to climb up from down here. Oh, I think this is actually where you approach from. Yeah. But there was a skit in it called Kitty Cat Man. And that's where I get it from. It is about a TV show of a man who can turn into a kitty cat, and it's actually needlessly wholesome, particularly given the show it's on. Actually, had freaking Michael Cera as Kitty Cat Man. Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Ogre's down there.
Right here.
Lockdown. Focus his fire on Calamia. I shall have him focus this other cannoneer.
You're not getting.
There we go.
All right, then.
Laying low.
Got it done.
Okay, just some materials. Okay. So let's head back over here and head on upstairs. Past the Pillars of Doom.
Fish. Sweat. Sulfur.
The ogre matron sniffs at the air, her nostrils as wide and dark as 2 pistol barrels. Beware, her temper burns hot within her.
You approach the flames that whisper clan with the stink of stalwart heavy upon you. You fill our halls with dreams of battle and bloodshed.
Feral Grimace parts the matron's teeth, yet even while her fingers clamp into fists, she watches you carefully. Asher, I'm here about Durgan's battery. The other ogres echo her furious howl. Soon the floor shakes with the angry cries and stamping feet of Durgan and her clanmates.
It ain't just the villagers who got superstitions.
It's the diseased carcass of a ruined civilization. It festers with restless spirits and rotten magics. I see.
She roars and clenches her head with wide, long-fingered hands.
Dreams. Hailstones falling like cannonballs from the ramparts. A frozen gale screeching through the tower door.
Her nails plow trenches through her ropey hair and raise a spot of crimson from her scalp. Finally, her growls subside and her breathing slows. She looks back at you with bloodshot eyes.
My dreams drove me to found this clan. Now my dreams tell me that Stalwart's ambition will destroy us.
Tempted to use just the history one because I have the lore for it. But I rolled a 4, so perhaps Star means to drive you out with the weapons of Durgan's
Dreams
battery.
often speak a language of symbols. But yes, this is what I fear. And now you'll tell me why you're here.
I came of my own accord. I wish to discover the battery's secrets for myself.
You may go in peace, but you will give up on Durgan's battery for good.
Well, I rolled a 4, so no deal. It's actually doing that fairly diplomatically for a change. I mean, a change for my dice, but you know, the dice always like violence, so. They're actually, you can't talk her down and even strike up an accord between them and Stalwart. But, so goes life. I actually want my back rank to target the Cannoneer.
Philotheli.
Have you target the Chanter. Dare do a knockdown on Matron. Because the Matron's actually a cleric. So I do want to get her taken care of fairly quickly. Okay. He's down. Kana, bring in a Phantom. Detonate on the Chanter. There we go. We all focus fire on the matron. Oh, Garak's down. Oh well.
Following your...
Unfortunately, those are some long prowls when it comes to the ogres. Okay, folks, let's get the matron dead. There we go. And finish off the frenzied ogre. Okay. So unfortunately, with killing the ogres, that's also a potential battery relief tile, scrying chamber key, expedition, seal of faith. Would be useful if we had a priest. We do not, because I fed the priest to the blood pool. This anvil-shaped tile feels cold in your hand. One side of it is pitted and weathered, but the other is perfectly smooth. It appears to be made of iron. But they're one of the factions you can call to help you combat Lord Gathbin over the keep. Letting Key Expedition Journal. This leather-bound journal is embossed with the image of a key. Most of the pages are filled with rust-bound brown stains or writing too small to read, but you're able to decipher a passage near the end of the journal. Couldn't detect how the front door opens even after she pried the iron tile from the relief. The more I consider it, the surer I am that the old Wailing was right. We'll have to dispose of him, but we can't afford to act until we've destroyed the right forge. Even his meager knowledge was a revelation to us. And if he's right, we've got to hope that the cantic he speaks of was written down somewhere. We've decided to strike camp and search the area for books, records, something. Anything's better than sitting in the middle of this blizzard.
Hey.
If you say so.
Can't get into that chest just yet. So let's take a look, see at the stronghold. Nothing there. Anything to build? Not as of yet. And no new side quests. Let's do the leveling for folks who leveled. So survival for Adair. And his talent is going to come from the offensive line. Yeah, I just rolled the d30. 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18. 19, 20, 21, 22. Bloody Slaughter is a passive plus 20% of hits convert to crits against targets with low endurance. Plus 0.5 to crit damage multiply against targets with low endurance. That's actually pretty nice. Ravius. College die. Athletics. Nothing can take a 3. Talent. Will be from class talents. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, so roll the d20. That is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bonus 4th level spell. Again, useful. Devil, let's see what we get for you. That is lore. Nothing can take a 2. For talent. Gonna come from offensive talents. Roll the d30 again. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Marksman. Accuracy against distant enemies. And finally for Clarence. That actually will be in mechanics. And for spells, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, so roll the d10. 3. Zistral Spirit Lance, which summons a weapon. A pike. creates a pike of pure magical force that deals pulse damage and causes a fault-only blast explosion like wands do. But that does make us a melee attack for like a minute, which... no. No! And finally talents, we have a class talent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So roll the d20. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bonus third level spell.
Hey.
Come on, open up door. Alright, let's get out of here. So next I'm actually going to do the Long Watch Falls map. But before that, I will head back to Stalwart Village, both to do some quest turn-ins, and also to rest. Yes, so there's another piece of the helm around. I believe it is actually with the merchant. Would you happen to possess an old helm or horn that looks like it's supposed to be attached to a helm? Yodern opens a compartment in his wagon and pulls out a cracked horn partially wrapped in cloth. One of the villagers sold me this during the previous visit. He said it came from some rare lake creature and was quite valuable. I've been dismissed as junk whenever I've tried to resell it, unless you know otherwise. Yeah, it's part of an artifact I'm trying to recover. Ah, so not another bad investment on my part then. 600 pence is my price. Done. The world fades and your vision blurs. When it returns, you find yourself in the icy waters of a bay, your body numb from the cold and your lungs burning from exertion. Nearby are Arteld and Brodrin. Both of them are swimming madly in an effort to pass you. On the distant shore await the other members of your tribe, and with them Olara, daughter of the chieftain. It is for her hand that the three of you are competing today. Give up, Garo. Ardell passes you, and despite your best efforts, you can't quite catch up. You look around to see where Berdwin is, and it is by sheer chance that you catch sight of the sea serpent's head surging towards the group. As before, the world stops. The memories trail, lost with your guidance. Say nothing and hide beneath the waves. You take a deep breath, dive, and remain perfectly still, avoiding the serpent's notice. In moments, the deep blue water around you turns red and cloudy. You wait until you see the shadowy form of the serpent silently gliding away, before you surface with a gasp. There's no sign of your companions, and you make your way to shore. Your tribe's initial cheers at your arrival fade once you relate the story about the encounter with the sea serpent, claiming that you only survived by sheer luck. Galloway was watching out for you today, Godro. The chieftain places his hand on your shoulder. The race? How could I forget the events of that day? Godro looks at his hands. I remember it now, but I feel no different yet. Please, you must find that last part of my helm.
Hey.
Let's go confront some Andrites, or false Andrites as it were. Bit of saving. You return. How may the goddess help you? I found the chests. They were filled only with rocks. I see. No use keeping the charade any longer, is there? Her group springs into action. The sound of unsheathing blades fills the room. But be sure to act so rashly, she holds up a hand. The thieves keep their weapons pointed at you. We've been pretending, yes, but is it so different from what Audra's priests do? Villagers and travelers give us things they want to forget, we make them disappear. Isn't that the same thing? We aren't murderers, and we prefer to be as far away from this cursed place as we can. Why make a bloody mess out of this? I'm willing to hope you look the other way. What do you propose? a simple deal. You keep our little secret to yourself, and we share some of our offerings with you before we slip away. Quexel brought back the dwarf's heirlooms. You can have them too. I don't want anything from you, but I won't throw you to those villagers either. A benevolent spirit. We won't wait for the mood to change. Her accomplices put the weapons away and begin to gather the belongings. Lofter points to a chest in the room. Quexel brought back the dwarf's heirlooms, but considered them a parting gift. The thieves packed for the road form a single line like a priest on a pilgrimage. Lofta cracks the door open and peeks outside. She signals the thieves to start their escape and gives you one last glance. This time we move on. So this is his armor. Oh no, just some armor in his heirloom. Ooh. That's actually not too bad. -1 move speed, but still.
Hey.
Sacred Skin. Scouts from the Twice-Split Arrows tribe claim that a deranged elven druid stormed into one of Glanfal's smaller western ruins, absconded with the hide of an enormous bear that the tribe hunted down 5 generations ago. The tribe of outcasts has been unable to locate the druid, and they have received no help from their fellow Glanfalans. That's on Sagani.
Hey.
I know where the gift for Outcast heirloom away. Oh. I have your medallion. Let's see it. Here it is. Ogren takes the medallion gingerly into his palms, taking care not to smudge it with his dirty fingertips. Yes, it's her medallion. You've done good here today, I swear. If I had a keen enough treasure to give you in return, I don't need anything else. Your response manages to shake his attention away from the heirloom. He studies for a moment. I was once like, maybe one day again. He turns around and walks away, looking not at the path ahead, but at the precious heirloom clustered in his hands. Even so, the stride of his short legs seems to be filled with confidence.
Hey.
I hope you've had some luck, and do take care with that device. It has a few rather delicate components.
I didn't find any ore deposits, but I did find this.
What? So it works? What a day! But why these gems? I didn't think the device would be able to pick up inert Audra. Fascinating. I have to study this further. But all the same, it worked! At last! A breakthrough! With that Audra to work from, I can refine the enchantments. We'll be digging up iron, gold, Audra, all of it!
Happy to help.
This is going to change everything. Oh, and I won't leave you empty-handed, of course. Here, I had this set aside for supplies, but I don't think I'll be staying in Stalwart much longer. I won't forget all you've done for me. They'll hear about this back home, I promise you. Who knows? Perhaps they'll name the next battery after you.
Okay. Sacred Skin is completed. The twice-split arrows gave Sagani enough information to pursue the crazed druid into the forest north of Deerford. Conversation with the druid was difficult, as her emotions shifted quickly and without warning, often violently. Sagani eventually pieced together that her soul had been awakened while she was in the process of spirit shifting. Her awakened soul became obsessed with recovering and retaining the bear hide that he had hunted generations ago. In the end, the druid attacked Sagani and some Deerford locals and was killed in the subsequent melee. The twice-split arrows were grateful for the return of the bear hide and saddened by how the ordeal had ended. They gave Sagani a pair of finely made hunting boots as a parting gift. Okay, so Nature's Trek. Plus 30 endurance over 10 seconds, plus 2 move speed when hit by a critical hit. Okay. And Supplicant. Oh. We could just pay him off. See if it is. Finishes in 3 hours.
Hey.
Okay. And Kana did levels. Let's do Kana's leveling now. So for skill, we're getting some athletics. Nothing can take a 2. Invocation. 3. Rise Again, Scions of Adon. Revives allies in the area of effect with a small amount of endurance. Not bad. I would have really liked the one that summoned Drake, but oh well. Or, 2 ogres, but oh well. And for talent... Okay, yeah. I'm just making sure I did click the correct one. So it's going to be in a defensive talent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So just roll a d10. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unstoppable. +10 defense against blinded, stuck, prone, hobbled, and dazed.
Hey.
Go see Thrisk, tell him about his son.
Watch yourself on the mountain.
I found
These lean times, everything looks like prey to something.
I found this wolf of
I
yours.
see. Is it done? Is he dead?
Yes, he's dead.
Then it is done at last. Thank you, stranger. I can't say I ever hoped this day would come, but it was inevitable.
The spirit shifter. Did you know
He
him?
was my son. Once.
I don't appreciate being lied to.
And I regret that it was necessary. No, that I believed it necessary. I thought you might balk at the task if you knew what Suldran had once been. I would have given my life to see it done. But if the ogres returned and I was killed, Suldran would remain out there. When you arrived, I came to hope that you might succeed where I failed. You have to understand, to think my son capable of what he did, that was not Suldran. The beast devoured my boy. And so, you did the right thing.
He was killing villagers. There wasn't any other way.
Difficult as it must have been, you did what you had to. The people of Stalwart are that much safer for it. You've brought me what peace the gods will allow me. This served me well in my younger days, and I hope that it will do the same for you.
Alright, and Grieving Mother leveled. So she's getting some survival. And yes! Ringleader. Imprints an insidious and powerful compulsion to obey the cipher across all enemies in the area of effect, dominating the target and charming all others. Very useful. Offensive talent, so roll the d30. That's a 28. That's more than I think are there. 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Bloody slaughter.
Hey.
Check the journal to see if there's anything for Renengild. Nothing in particular, but I'm gonna talk to her anyway. Now that we've dealt with the ogres.
I take it you've met Galvino.
Okay. So
Before
nothing
you
for
go,
that.
trappers haven't seen Baragon's
Okay.
ogres for a spell. I hear we've got you to thank for that. Whole village is resting easier.
She takes a deep breath, and you notice that the dark circles under her eyes have faded.
Halfrick's cleaned up the rooms at the Grave's Rest, and Eaterin supply lines have finally opened up again. Thought you ought to know.
Okay. So there's, like, some minor benefit for at least, like, checking in with her. Okay. So I am going to check in with, I believe it was Ethel, at the Orlin hiding out here from the slaver.
Any progress with Devala?
She's dead.
Oh, thank the gods. Every last one of them. I never thought I'd see this day, and thank you most of all. Here, take this, and tell Hafric that he can keep the rest of the week's fee. I'm off.
Okay. Okay, and that was probably just update there. And I will rest here.
Got rid of that little fella, eh? Take this with my thanks. Didn't need his trouble around here. Anyway, what brings you back? With Baragon's clan gone, I've made a few improvements. You'll rest easier, I'm sure.
Actually, yeah, that is resolved now. Interesting. Okay, craft hall has been constructed. Get the curio shop up and going.
Hey.
So I will be heading to Long Watch Falls now. Before I do that, though, I will go grab myself a cup of coffee real quick, so I'll just be right back. And alrighty, I'm back. So let's head on up to Long Watch Falls. Long Watch Falls.
I'll go on ahead.
Start exploring the area around here. So these bitter spirits have not aggroed yet. So this is for wizard, druid, or monk. Typically I take this with Heravius. Let me see if we can. Not yet, because we're in combat. So let's do a focus fire. Okay, and 3 different specters, so might as well just
Fight is mine.
go down the line. Oh, there's the King Gower. Let's focus you.
Stand still.
Oh, she paralyzed almost everyone there.
That's how it's.
Come on. 100, there we go.
Stand still.
So convinced that the low health I saw was Heravius that I didn't realize it was my wizard. Ah, see, we got someone else in here. Howdy. Playing Pillars. In an okay-ish manner. Which, you know, is my #1 way for playing these games. Okay-ish.
Stand still.
Heravius, are you hung or something? Okay, wasn't quite sure what Heravius was doing there, but...
Hey.
Okay, everyone's back up. So let's get him equipped. Combine Soul. So we need to either deal 125 damage to beetles or 625 damage in general to unlock the next level. It's currently an exceptional weapon that grants Nature's Mark, which is basically Fury Fire on critical hits once per encounter. The twisted piece of wood grips a glowing Audra chunk with root-like tendrils. Something about the staff resonates in your soul. When you hold it, you hear distant whispering of wind through the trees. And this one... Oh, only needs 9 more kills by it to get to its next level for Stormcaller.
Hey. Hey.
Everyone's endurance was refill. Put a quick save in.
Hey.
I'll stay out of sight.
That's a lot of dudes.
For Ethan!
Use a fireball.
Ready when you...
Fireballs don't really seem to do all that much, quite frankly. Focus the crossbows. Actually gonna... Yeah, only 27 to 38 burn damage. That's like a weapon attack. Ugh.
This fight is mine!
Gonna have him move up to the flank. Obvious if you attack first, thank you. And he's back up because he's a troll.
footsteps will be as silent as my feet.
Okay, let's play safe-ish.
Brave Dalfila Thili.
Yeah, yeah, because those are immune to bashing damage, so I'm just going to have cat out. Okay. Good. Doing things. Focus control. Go down, then get back up again. We're gonna keep it down. And now we fight the login sidebinders. I think are the rogue equivalent. Login 5. Dare, second win, please.
Leave it to me.
That is one of the upsides of the randomized build, though, is because everyone has semi-decent at lugs. Everyone's second wind is like more than just pitiable for a non-fighter. Cogwheel, find robe.
Hey.
Good thing I'm freshly greased.
We attack the broodmother first. Ifs, ands, or buts on that.
Following your
This fight is mine! Better try something!
Easies. Oh wow, dear just went down. That was fast. And heal. Or not. Attack the blight. Except you take. Have her use
Ready when you
death.
are.
There we go. Y'all attack right now. Bring in the Phantom. Or, you know, I could actually revive some folks. Yeah.
Better try something else!
Haven't cast this. Heal in general. And attack the Great Ice Fight now it's dominated. Alright.
Hey.
Fine Pike.
Hey.
I'll stay out of sight.
Okay, nothing down by the river. Saving. No, let's get mechanics anywhere near that. We'll check how the weapons are doing. About 1/3 of the way along there. 6 more on that one.
Hey.
Water trickles down glistening pillars and spears of ice. A few walks peck out from beneath them. Okay.
Yeah?
Big Cat Man with a plan. Focus the Wraith first. Take it down. Actually, focus her.
This won't hold
Yeah,
me for
she
long.
paralyzes basically fucking everyone.
Hey.
Off. Kill her, like, as fast as possible.
Hey.
Come on. There we go. Finish
He
off
goes
the
to
Wraith.
seek new things, new mysteries.
Good. Focus the Spectres. Bring in a Wraith.
Following your lead. Stand.
Have it fight the Ice Knight.
Faith does not believe. Your tail ends here.
That's nice. Detonate on the,
We are one
Ice
fewer,
Knight.
Watcher.
Good. They're down. There's a knockdown on that Spectre. Nothing happened on that detonate shit. Okay. Leave Connor here. Have him use his AoE res.
Ixmaru!
Use some missiles.
Faith does not believe.
Use some more missiles. You're not stunned.
Mabaru be on feet.
Okay. And everyone attack the Spectre.
Ready when you are.
Almost felt that one.
Following your lead.
Hey.
Alright. So let's rest. Interesting. So
Following
this
your
is
lead.
another soulbound item.
Of course.
These panels have been worn smooth. In one you can just detect the shape of a sword, in another the stocky body of a dwarf. You trace fading outline and shapes in these panels. It looks like they were once a secret of reliefs, but the images have worn away. And it will actually bind to whoever takes it out. It is an S-stock, so I am going to have Kana take it up. Behind a frigid curtain of water is an alcove, its walls flecked with ice. In the middle you see a rough stone pedestal, also glazed with ice from the falls. A cruciform hilt and tapered blade protrude from the pedestal. Judging from the size of the hilt and the apparent length of the blade, you infer that it is an S-stock. Move it and pull the weapon from the stone. Tell Kana to grab the weapon and pull it out. Kana crosses under the falls, grasping beneath the cold water, shivering beneath rests echoing the small chamber. Patterns of falling water flick flicker across the blade as Khan approaches it. Khan grasps the hilt. The hate, fear, and violence of a dozen mad dripping voices fills Kana's mind. Kana shudders through a wave of mental pain, struggling to hold the voices back. Grunts and cries of agony ring through the tiny space. Keep holding on. Kana maintains a tight grip on the sword, arm shaking with effort. Eventually, Kana regains a measure of focus through the clamoring voices. Yet, just as Kana's breathing steadies and the cacophony subsides, something pulls Kana's arms forward. It suddenly looks as if Kana's holding a heavy and painful burden. Kana could probably pull the S-Stock free, but it will be taxing without careful effort. Okay. Inspect the blade. The blade itself is of a fine, sturdy steel. Peering closer, Kana sees part of a poem written along the blade. "'Tis a traitor's feat to sleep and never rest, whilst knowledge of this deed stays lodged within his breast. But earnest penance heals the sorrowful man, and worthy actions stay the executioner's hand." Race against the pedestal to pull the S-Stock out. Kana climbs on top of the pedestal and adopts a wide stance for better leverage. Draw the S-Stock from the stone. After working at the S-Stock, Kana is able to pull it free without too much difficulty. Yet when Kana tries to release the weapon from it, remains stuck in Kana's fingers. Something within the weapon grasps at Kana's soul, binding to it. Some kind of writing glows from the blade. Okay. So this is fine with a 10% chance to paralyze and hit or crit. That is, a new verse appears when the blade is drawn from the pedestal. It reads, "Seek the whirling agent made of copper Audra's stone. Awaken first your essence so that it may atone."
Hey.
So to level up this blade,
Following your lead.
The Grey Sleeper,
Hey.
you actually just have to go to different locations around the world.
Following your lead.
It seems I can't quite switch weapons while it's still bound. Okay, that's interesting. Forgot that little quirk. But let's keep exploring Watch Falls. By heading down here.
Let's see what lies this way.
This is what I think it is. Quite likely. So depending on how this one goes, we may or may not be having to come back to this one. The dragon turns its head to look at you. Its red eyes are clouded like dirty ice, and its sides heave with labored breaths. Frosty plumes jet between its teeth.
Now.
Leave. The dice said leave, so we leave.
Hey.
I don't know if we come back if we'll have the chance to talk with it, or if it just fights, but we'll find out. But for now, we're going to leave it.
Of course.
Thought you Glonfathens was all fanatical and shit.
I am fanatical. I'm just suppressing it so I don't have to kill all my friends.
So it don't chafe you none that our mutual friend here's been prancing through your sacred ruins?
No, it does. It really does. I'm gonna kill him any time now.
Okay, head on over here.
I'll go on ahead.
Easy, crazy, that's a lot of them. Yeah, cast this one.
Ready when you are.
How? Okay, good. 3, and you're dead.
This fight is mine. You're not getting through me.
I feared the dragon! And yet, it was this I should have. Yeah, seriously, what the frack, folks? Okay, I know a lost cause when I see it. Okay, so we will go forward, accept the dragon's offer to leave, and then head back out. Leave. Head over here.
Let's see what lies this way.
Do a quick save.
Poison! That's fighting.
Need something?
Okay, ringleader went off. We got some of them. Except you. You attack that. Devil, heal.
Need something?
Best you can, or not. Do attack.
That's how it's done.
Okay, much better this time. Last one party member, and you know it's the rogue. They go down directly.
Leave it to me.
Yeah.
I think it may be time to strike up camp. Ugh.
Hey.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
You peer into this pool. The water is perfectly clear, but you don't see anything of note.
Let's see what lies this way.
My head is spinning.
Oh.
Stand clear. Leave it to me.
So is he.
Need something?
Just do some focus fire. How freaking long is that paralysis? Okay. Still, that is long gas paralysis.
This fight is Paralysis! You're not getting through me. This fight is
Come out.
all right then. Hey.
Let's see what lies this way.
Need some?
Just attack this one then, or have it. Natural domination.
Hey.
You brush the cloak of steam away from this pool. You think you see, but no, it's just a bubble rolling up from the depths. The pool is empty.
Hey.
My thoughts
We're
will
looking
be
for
as
a
silent as my
thermal
feet.
pearl in these pools for a side quest. Have him cast his lightning. When he becomes unparalyzed. And he's dead. Just attack the beard mother, please. Have her cast her ring leader.
This weapon's no good to me.
Okay, good. Y'all attack. Kinda
Following you.
up.
Breathe.
Over here. Res Haravius. Knock down. I should just have him.
Hey.
And he can't get res off.
Not feeling my best here.
I no longer sense our merry friend.
And I know when to cut losses, so let's just reload.
Hey.
Brave doth not believe.
This way it seems. Yeah, just go down here. And attack. Good. Attack the brood mother. Like, if you can get off that ring later, it's really good.
This fight is
My muscle.
better try.
Have him do a knockdown.
This one repels my touch.
Ha! Now you are paralyzed.
This one repels my touch.
Quick!
I think it may be time to strike up camp. Ugh.
Got at least one of them left.
That's how it's done.
Take him down. That was a kill by Grieving Mother, so... Okay, she's got 3 more to do. And you're out half on the staff.
Hey.
Looking into the third pool, you see something round and iridescent resting on the bottom. Take it. You reach in, your flesh tingling with warm water, and you pull the sphere out. It's heavier than it looked, and its smooth, pearlescent surface shines as you turn it. You stick it in your pack.
Hey.
Journal. Yegard's journal. Most of the few remaining pages are ruined with mud, but you can make out an entry near the end of the journal. Falkstag woke up this morning and saw my towhead turn blue. Spent the last of my fuel warming them up, but it only took me an hour to start the campfire this time. How far I've come. I passed a village yesterday and thought about it stopping. A warm bed and proper meal would have been a treat after almost a week in these mountains. But I don't want to lose track of my soul twin, not when I'm so close. I dreamed of the cave behind the waterfall last night. I think that's where I'll find him. I'm not sure what else it could mean, but I'd better. The next page is missing, and the rest are unreadable.
Hey.
Okay. So let's just see if there's anything over here. Put a save in. Actually, before I do that, there's this soul here. A few odds and ends lights scattered by the path. There appears to be a struggle here, but the evidence is half buried under a thin blanket of snow. Wisps of essence hover in the chilly air. Reach out to the essence. The soul fragment plunges you into a memory. My name is whatever. Igardir. You've never been more than 20 miles from my home, let alone to the White March, and yet you've been climbing steadily for a week now. The air is too thin, your clothes are too light, and you've barely got another 3 days' worth of food with you, but you've never felt better. You've only had a handful of fang spells since you began your journey. You've had as many in a single day before. But the dreams have been the best part. Despite the frozen rocky ground and the screeching winds, sleep has found you each night and brought you visions of majestic peaks wrapped in snow. The cold is but a sweet ache in your bones. As you hike into the wind, you feel that ache spreading across with the certainty that you're getting closer to him or her, your soul twin. A stranger whose soul mirrors your own. One of the few people in Nero who could understand the constant torment of the split soul, and the only person who could help you relieve it. Something approaches through a shroud of snow ahead. You feel a throbbing presence like a heartbeat through linen, and you know the vision ends abruptly, and you see yourself staring at Yidgar's scattered belongings, while his elation ebbs from your veins. As his essence fades from you, feel his energies dissolve into disappointment, until all that remains is emptiness of a meaningless deaths. Inspect the area. The empty pack lies in the snow. It's been torn neatly in two. Also, many tracks turn off the ground. It's difficult to discern their shape or number, but they appear to lead north.
Hey.
Discover how Yidgar died. So let's... Thankfully, we've cleared that path already. See if we can find a body here. Tubes of stiff, frozen mud rise from the ground, and warm air buffets your face as you peer inside them. You see shiny, jagged shards inside. No clue. Oh. Let's go up here. Scouting mode on.
My mind feels...
Just attack the needles. Because this weapon wants that.
This weapon's no good to me. You're mine.
other weapons looking at? Oh yeah, just a few more, 1 or 2 more beetles, and yeah, easy. She still needs 3 more kills on that one.
Hey.
We'll fare better if we get some sleep.
You feel something nudge the small of your pack. You turn around, the small of your back. No one's standing there, but you feel it again. Something is moving in your pack. You open your pack and hear a soft burbling sound. As you rummage through your belongings, something slick brushes to your hand. It's a baby Loganfoth. It watches you with benign curiosity, eggshell fragment still stuck to its body. You're the first person it saw. It's going to think you're its papa now. That little 4-armed fish baby is your son. I couldn't be happy for you.
Hey.
Real quick, I do want to go back to the russet wood, because I think there's something I forgot to do from that phantom where the apprentice got killed by his master. It was here, so let's head back on over here. Moving faster than I can scroll, which is a good thing. Because he had buried something right here. So
I'll go on ahead.
Yep. Tattered map. This yellowed piece of parchment shows a rough drawing of a cluster of trees, but little else there could be anywhere in the White March. So it's this right here. So, that, I believe, is actually back at Durgan's battery. Okay. Yep, it's here. I'll go scout out here first, see if there's anything of interest. Nope. So let's
keeping an eye out.
Scout right down here.
You gotta see this.
Ready when you are.
Ninagoth's Black Pages. So this is a grimoire from an archmage. And it has a lot of spells I can learn, so I'm going to do that. Tarn's Chaotic Orb, that's actually a very good one. Killing Bolt, that's basically Disintegrate. Gaze of the Ard Dragon is a Petrification. Ninagoth's Freezing Pillar, sure. Chain Lightning, can't be bad. Arcane Reflection, that's basically spell turning. Wall of Force, yes please. Call of Slumber, sure. Blast of Frost, that's Cone of Cold. Bitter Mooring, sure. What is that one? Freeze damage and stuck. Okay. And Goth's Death Ray. And I think some of these are like exclusive to finding this grimoire as well. Dimensional Shift, sure. Shadow Frame. Okay, so this is like a fireball that does freeze damage and can also paralyze enemies, so that's actually pretty good. Yeah, because this is like, that's a spell that's exclusive to this grimoire. Arcane Dampener, why not? Expose Fire Penalties, yes. Freeze Finals, yep. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah?
So that actually has given Clarence a good amount of new spells to use. So, you know what? Let's bring in Shadow Flame. And foe AoE unconscious for 7 seconds. Freeze damage. Yeah. And then once we get those spells unlocked, we can start slotting those in. Actually, I will at least slot in Gaze of the Art Dragon. That's a really good one. This is these two.
Hey.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is... I think this is just tree line. Yep. Found something.
Leave it to me.
That's how it.
My mind feels sharpest.
So I'm only going to keep the rogue around because she has one higher mechanics than everyone else does. Which, you know, it's barely anything, but sometimes it comes in handy. I've never really been good with the Devil of Carrick as a character. Just utilizing her is not a strong suit of mine. So what I'm going to do at this juncture is I'm going to head back to town. Actually head back to Cadnua.
This place, as beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
Curio shop is complete, so I will get the Artificer's Hall started. Gonna rest. Let's take the resolve.
I'm sorry if I was a little tactless before, about your being a watcher. I didn't really understand what was involved. Is it hard, hearing the spirits all the time?
You're asking as if I've cracked yet. Hardly. You seem to be bearing up well, if you can just at all hours. I'm glad for your wits. They've seen us through more than one occasion. In short, you seem sane enough for our purposes. In any case, we'll find a solution long before Mayworld's curse sets in. You have my word on that. Okay,
hey.
So now we're actually gonna go around to a few different parts and try and break the curse on Connor's sword.
Of course.
Following your lead.
The S-Talk seems to hum as it nears the Ingwithan machine. Something arcs between the steel blade and the Audra core of the ancient device. The voices in the S-Talk grow quieter and the weapon feels more powerful. New writing appears alongside the blade. So it can now slow spirits 3 times per rest, which is a foe AoE against spirits. That's pretty nice. New verse place from Metal read: find the sun-kissed hillocks where the dead folk sleep, rest beside their wasting flesh, inspect what dreams make you reap.
Hey.
Okay, so that's gonna lead us to the Estro Wood. Artificer's Hall is complete, so let's get something else started here. The Forum. Head up here. And rest here. The loamy soil squishes underfoot, and something invisible seems to rise from it. You detect essence, faint and barely perceptible, drifting up from the graveyard. The Grey Sleeper seems to feed on it, and the strange voices grow quieter still. Another verse gleams in the steel. So it now has a 5 chance to cast Invoke Vessels on hit or critical hit, and that will summon 1 to 3 of ghouls, dark ghouls, revenants, human skeletons, or Vix. The final part of the poem shines along the blade. Fingers the world, Audra strong and whole, kneel before the pillars, bring order to your soul.
Hey.
So head out of here. And I believe that was actually... Was it Margaret's Fork? Where it's at? Yep. Destroy the caster.
My mind feels sharp as steel.
Hey.
Another kill for Grieving Mother with her bow. I believe she needs 2 more. A deep and mighty power emanates from the Audra pillars. It resonates in the Grey Sleeper. Kneel. As you kneel, the voices of the Grey Sleeper reach a low, peaceful harmony. A final surge of energy fills the blade, and the voices fall silent. You feel the curse snap like a rotten cord. So, it is now superb. It has all the powers it had before, and a 5% chance to cast Twin Stones on hit or critical hit. 2 final lines appear along the blade of the S-Talk. A penance now complete, a burden now a gift. Keep this weapon at your side to remind you of your shrift. And in addition, I can now switch between my weapons again. Curse of Cold Clay. All across the Eastern Reach, people are being buried in graveyards and returning from the dead as vampires. Examination by locals has revealed that animancers have tampered with several gravesites prior to the burial. Local lords have released bounties for the capture of whomever is responsible. Unfortunately, the rapid spread of such events leads many to believe that a group, not a single individual, is behind the experiments. Let's send Aloth on this one.
Hey.
Okay. So now that is that, I'll just head her out. Back to the White March, back to Stalwart.
Are you staring at my eye patch or my ear stump?
Sorry, I was only thinking.
I'll do what we need to do here
The
in
eyeless
Stalwart,
face
then
seems
head
to
back to
hound my
Cadmu
steps.
at
They
Suji's
say he
requests.
unravels mysteries as well as hides them, but I'm starting to doubt it.
Wild does not unravel, but he helps guide you to the path of learning for yourself. If he gave us answers, the resulting knowledge would be without value.
You never get frustrated? With all these riddles and obtuse prophecies? Just once, I'd like to get a clear answer.
And just once, I'd like to meet a woman who goes into heat at the first whiff of Stelgar urine. But that's not going to happen either.
At least you're realist, Ravius. So I'm now going to kind of try and awaken a soul here to get the Kantek.
Welcome.
Reach a soul. Thirik's soul is a vibrant, stolid thing. And you reach out for it with your senses. You see your breath begin to fog in the air. You find yourself far above ground, wedged into a juncture of tree branches. The moonlight is bright upon the snow. In the distance, your quarry steps out onto the ice as if onto an illuminated stage. You still your breath and draw back your arrow. Warmth bleeds back into your hands. Frost and snow give way to the smoky interior thrusts home.
You got the look of someone with his teeth around a secret.
The cold fingers are locked around your arm. Her black eyes search you.
She's looking at you the way attractive female lions look at me.
Welcome.
Okay. So
Hey.
he was a One of his more recent emanations was a animal. Yep.
Didn't think there was anything more than lice and hoarfrost to these folk, but you had a look back there. What do you find when you're rooting around like that?
You seem rather interested in these villagers all of a sudden. Why?
Mayhap I'm looking for someone. Woodcutter by the name of Harmka.
That doesn't have anything to do with the Cold Morn, does it?
It sure does. He was one of them. The mob that destroyed Cold Morn. I tracked him to Stalwart years ago, but got caught before I could finish my business.
It's been 13 years and you're still after him?
We all gotta have something that gets us out of bed in the morning. This man, Harmka. I saw him outside my house the night it burned, staring into the flames the way I seen you stare into souls. I knew it were a fool's errand trying to hunt down every man and woman that carried a torch into Cold Morn. But if I knew I got the one responsible for my kin and my hearth, I might could rest easy.
How can you be so sure about this Harmka fellow?
I took a good long look that night. Ours was a little place with a yellow door right on the edge of town. He was there. Besides, I asked around when I first got to Stalwart. Townsfolk said that all the woodcutters in town took part in the purge. Point of pride for them.
What does this have to do with me?
I told you he was part of the mob. I spotted him watching my house when it burned. But when we find him, I want to know if he's the one responsible for my home, my parents, and my brothers and sister. I never thought I'd have the chance to know for sure. But you could look into his soul and find out. You being a watcher and all.
Okay. Finding out might be getting your hopes up. How would you feel about a solid hunch instead? I'll do what I can.
Mighty fine of you. Mighty fine indeed. Don't know where he dallies these days, but someone in Stalwart could tell us. People from little villages, they always know.
Okay.
Hey.
If you weren't gonna fetch the liquor for me, you didn't have to tell Havrick about it. Now he's banned me from the inn altogether.
Sorry, I figured I'd keep you out of trouble.
Out of trouble? It was only a drink. Now I get to die sober when the ogres come back. Right, fair enough. What do you want?
Read his soul. The snowy paths peel away, and the brisk air gives way to the acidic stench of smoke. A dark cloud billows up from the remnants of a burning house at the far edge of a rocky field. You are low to the ground, held in place, and above you the wind tugs embers back and forth like firebugs. The vision in
Not
your
so
left eye is
brave
clouded,
now, are you?
such that the figure standing over you is a collection of rough smears of black, cast in silhouette by the fire. A dark shape swings towards your face, and the subsequent burst of agony jars you out of your memory and back into your own skin.
What? Did I spill something on myself?
Leave.
Hey.
Okay, this came out of the Thermal Pearl. The little creature sticks its head out of your pack and looks at Teldor with bulging blue eyes. His jaw flaps silently for a few seconds. I've never seen one so small, but this little fellow looks downright tame. How about I buy it from you? The performers that pass through would take an interest in something like this. Don't do it! Nope, I'm keeping him. Whatever you say, just watch your fingers when he gets big. You said something about dangerous folk. We get our share of crazies out here. Most of them aren't even from the village. The largest group I've heard of is Gleaming Society or the Sisterhood of the Slake Skull. But Renegade set aside some bounty money to see these troublemakers were taken care of. You bring me the heads of their leaders and I'll give you the payment. I want to know about the Gleaming Society. Crazy pack of radicals that want to topple governments and kill the wealthy. Makes the War of Defiance look like a food fight. Duke Avar and the Regent of Red Ceres both declare them illegal, which is probably the only thing these two would agree on. Anyway, check Longwatch Falls to the east. That's where they were last seen. Who leads the Sisterhood of the Slaked Skull? That would be Metzla. All of the members of the Sisterhood worship Bareth by sending as many folks back to the wheel as they can. They've been poking around Durgan's battery, and Will only knows why, but you can understand how no one around here was pleased to hear about it. passed through town recently, didn't stay too long, but they stopped at the Temple of Andra. You might see if Lofton knows something. If you come across them, be careful, they're unpredictable. What do you want to know?
They gone? Have those nasty brutes I heard the ogres outside, tearing down walls and murdering folk. Don't remember how things got this bad. But you're the new adventurer. Renengild's latest volunteer. A real spitfire, she told me. Bet you'd whip those layabouts at the mine into shape.
I'd like to ask you something.
Did you say something, dear?
Tell me about
Me?
yourself.
I was the overseer at the mine, back when it was running. Got shut down decades ago when we couldn't sell or ship the stuff, but I still remember plenty about the mining business. And I got as many folk as I can digging out the entrance. Been praying to the salty wench that I don't forget too much afore they finish the job. Got to speak up?
You feel her essence humming and buzzing. Another personality instead of memories lies dormant within her soul, convulsing as if in fitful sleep. The contours of that dormant soul are sharp, ragged. As you reach out for it, it seizes you violently. You're standing in a darkened feast hall. Sturdy tables and benches have been stacked against the door in the far end of the room. You know it won't be enough. A few dozen other dwarves from your tunneling crew wait with you, shovels and pickaxes in their shaking hands.
Sinove, please. If we go now, we can get behind the barricade. We won't do any good here.
He's right, and you hear agreement in the quiet murmur of the others. But Almswood and Maroon ordered you to hold your ground here. Yet in those rising whispers you hear the opening bars of mutiny. You've never tolerated insubordination from your crew, and you aren't about to start. So you heft your pickaxe and swing into the man's skull. He collapses and the others fall silent. The acritic odor of urine rises from his body.
We're gonna go down fighting. Anyone who feels differently can settle it with me right now.
Your voice is hoarse after hours of shouting orders, but no one else moves. They cast their eyes down at the flickering torchlight. Something thuds against the door. The others raise their weapons, picks, shovels, and a few swords, but they don't dare flinch. Your own pulse pounds at your temples. You pull back from Tanner's soul, but you feel Zenovia's wrath and ferocity tugging at you still. Her essence thrashes, lashing out at an unseen enemy. Zenobia is powerful, but dangerous too. Her fury has anchored her to old and threatening memories. You consider that there may be others you could awaken.
Hey.
Let's see if we can find any others to awaken, and then we'll make our decision.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
Do you know a man named Harmke?
The woodcutter? Sure do. Head west from the village, then go north. If you see the frozen stream, you've gone too far. Usually works a stand of trees out in the russet wood, though he steps out from time to time.
Well? You would give this woman the vengeance she craves. What good shall come of it?
Read his soul. You see a room, dark and damp, a cellar. It looks like part of the inn rather than an old fortress. Through Hafric's eyes, you admire rows of gleaming bottles recently dusted and polished. As you step back from the shelves, you look upon with satisfaction at a pressure plate concealed in the stone floor.
You all right? I won't serve you if you're already drunk, you know.
Farewell.
Excuse me, was there something you need?
You feel for Obena's essence and almost instantly find yourself wrapped in darkness. It takes you a moment to realize that you've plunged into a very old memory. But as your eyes adjust to the torchlight, you find yourself standing in a gloomy tunnel that you instinctively recognize as part of Durgan's battery. A handful of figures in patchy cloaks and hoods, dwarves like you, hunch over a minecart. They're loading it with cloth-wrapped bundles from which you see the occasional flash of metal, the edge of a blade, or the burnished glow of plate. The other dwarves scurry with a curious mixture of haste and caution. They stack the bundles in a din of muted clangs and thumps, following the echoes of their ruckus down the tunnel with nervous eyes. Pay attention!
Sooner we get this done, sooner we can go.
Your voice is a dry whisper, and your nerves tingle with energy. You feel the same apprehension that the others do, but unlike them, you relish it. Still, you look over your shoulder, just in case.
We're hurrying, Captain Gregor. Honest.
When you turn back, the others have redoubled their efforts, and you feel a pleasurable twist in your gut as they fill the cart. Being of the captain of the guard doesn't pay much, but it does allow you to visit the army without raising eyebrows. And with Coinmaster Zoltan selling off half of all the battery's arsenal, who's going to notice a few more missing pieces? Besides, you've got a buyer lined up, as long as you can move these goods out the battery before someone squeals. You pull back from the memory to find Rowena staring at you.
Sir? Excuse me, sir. You all right?
Awaken, Gregor, and remember your theft from the armory.
Who? I don't...
Her face goes slack, and she looks for a second as if she's fallen asleep. Her eyelids flutter, and after several seconds they open to slits.
Thief? I'm the captain of the guard. Best be careful where you sling an accusation like that.
Show some remorse. You've abused your position and the trust of your people.
I performed my duties as captain. And if the honored coinmaster Zoltan can sell Durgan steel, why shouldn't I? Say, you looking for a deal? Because I can make deals.
The deal is this. You tell me what I want to know, and I won't break your neck.
Louder. I'm not sure she heard you.
Her hand reaches for a weapon at her side. Only then does she seem to realize that there's nothing there. Something ripples across her face as the two consciousnesses, Gregor and Owena, shift around one another, like two people squeezing through the same door.
You have me at a loss. And yet, this is not a loss entirely.
She looks herself over, holding out her arms and feeling the fabric of her clothing. I need to reach Durgan's battery. The cantic, please.
Hammers of Durgan, ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. Walls of the battery safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. Abidun's faithful travail by the forge, and the fires that brighten the ore. If anyone asks, you didn't hear it from me. Got that? Now.
Ona doubles over, sneezing hard, enough to scatter dust across the floor. She looks back at you, wiping her watery eyes.
Beg your pardon for going on so. I got carried away, and what was that I said? About hammers and fires and...
You're awakened. You share the soul of a guard captain from Durgan's battery.
You must be joking. How could that happen?
I awakened you. I needed information about the battery.
I can't be awakened. That means... Andres Tides, I'm stuck with him.
Her body goes rigid, every muscle tensing. She stands there, frozen in shock, until a slight look warms her eyes. The thought creeps down her shoulders and torso until at last she speaks again. Her voice is smooth as oil.
It's not all bad, Owena. Way I see it, you and me could make some deals. To our mutual benefit.
She cranes her neck, taking in the dark room.
Deals? What do you want from me? For you, not from you. I'm thinking it's time we got a raise. I don't know about that. Hafric's a bit of a miser, he is.
Owena's anxious frown replaces Gregor's confident smirk.
Don't you worry about Hafric. I've got something else in mind.
Owena falls into a deep contemplation as she and Gregor continue in silent conference.
Hey.
Okay, so we now have everything we actually need to have to get into the battery. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go around to Russetwood and Longwatch to take care of the bounties and Devil of Karok's quest. Aloth traveled from Hangman's Abbey to the Bay of Crowns, investigating the various reports of vampire appearances. In each case, Aloth discovered that the grave sites had elaborate glass, copper, and Audra devices buried around them. The distinctive intricacy of the devices were struck to a Valian dwarf that had been shunned for his unpleasant practices in Salonia and Akanese. When captured, the dwarf claimed his intent was not to create vampires, but to destroy life. The vampires were created due to the dwarf's inability to solve a fundamental problem with his machinery. The incredible frequency of the dwarf's activity was not due to co-conspirators, but rather his extensive use of drugs that kept him awake and frantic for days on end. Once confronted, the dwarf put up no fight and allowed himself to be taken to custody. When Aloth left him, he was awaiting trial in Telania. And we get warmth of life's remembrance of life's warmth, yeah. Okay, which is just a spellcast item with 3 uses.
Thought you Grandfathers was all fanatical and shit.
I am fanatical. I'm just suppressing it so I don't have to kill all my friends.
So it don't chafe you none that our mutual friend here's been prancing through your sacred ruins?
No, it does. It really does. I'm gonna kill him any time now.
Actually, before I do the side quest, I will head back to Cadnua because apparently I have those 2 visitors there.
Not as beautiful as the Anguithan ruins.
Head on in.
Fortress.
Lord Vinrigar, I've heard a lot about you, Lord Clarence Wong. You seem like a man who knows how to get results. I have a matter I'd like to discuss with you, if you'll hear me out. I would urge caution, my lord. Lord Berengar has a reputation as a man of brutal temperament. Some would call him cruel. Very well, let's hear it. You call your allies together and motion for the petitioner to step forward. As the ruler of Cadnua, I'm sure you've seen your share of troublemakers. People determined to tear you down so you can share in their misery. I have had a few incidents on my land, rabble-rousing peasants, you see. Shameful as it is, they've gotten somewhat out of hand, refusing to work, threatening my guards, spouting this nonsense about unfair treatment. It's not as if I don't pay them. In any case, I fear they won't back down. The situation will only get worse if I don't put an end to it. Things may be a little messy. I thought it best to consult with you on the matter first. I'd like a moment to discuss this with my people. Of course, of course. Aloth, I need you to travel to Benrigger's Keep. Warn the people. I shall act quickly. Aloth will be busy for 6 days. Okay. Have you come to your decision? You will have my full support. Go back and beat those troublemakers into the dirt. I admit I was hoping for resources rather than permission, but I appreciate your support.
Hey.
Okay. I believe this guy. Greetings, Lord Clarence Wong. My name is Beralt. If you have the time, I have an urgent matter I'd like to discuss. Very well, let us hear this. You call for your allies and prepare to hear the petition. I have been tasked with meeting with representatives from the Fisher Crane tribe near Thanebog. It is my hope to come to peaceful terms. Unfortunately, I haven't had much practice with the Glanfathan language, and the Fisher Crane are, by nature, very reclusive. I fear that the circumstances are ripe for misunderstanding. You yourself, I hear, have had some dealings with Glanfathans. I would welcome any assistance or advice you may offer. I can't spare any resources, but I do have some traveling advice. Stick to the trade routes, best to arrive quickly and openly. Well, if you feel that's sufficient, then I will trust in your judgment. Thank you. I will do as you suggest. Okay.
Hey.
Now that's done. Let's head back to the White March, hunt down those bounties, hunt down that Harmfra for the devil.
Anguithan ruins near my home, but your fortress is impressive in its own little way.
Head to Lockwatch Falls first. So the bounty...
Hey, how's that song go again? The one you were singing a minute ago?
North and home again? Just getting into the mountain spirit. I'll keep it to a hum, if you like.
No, it was nice. In fact, you could sing it some more, if you want.
So the bounty fights are actually some of the harder ones in the game. So I'm going to be a bit more cautious, and depending on how they go, we might be doing some reloading, but so goes life. Because I think the one on this map is over by this area here. Or I am misremembering. Try down here. Yes, not through there. Actually, I will check up here just in case. Yep. Okay, that was just highly. Name error! Okay, where are you, you little bounties? Yep, they're there. Have you all attack except for y'all. Have y'all back as best you can. Dare if you would knock him down. So ready when you get back. Lord Clarence is already just dead. Yeah, as you can see, these are bit on the tougher end.
What has happened?
Okay, so I'm gonna save these ones for later then.
Hey.
We'll head to Russetwood, though, to do the Devil of Karok's quest.
All right, then.
Yeah. It's him, Harmka. I made that weak chin and those knobbly knees. Well, he won't be the most impressive hunting trophy, but we don't have to mount the knees.
How goes?
The elven man emerges into the clearing in freezes, staring at the Devil of Karok. For an elf, he's tall and rangy, with a weather-beaten face between stringy, greasy hair. The others with him in turn, glaring and gasping at the bronze golem.
Auroch's shadow. What's that wicked thing doing here?
Okay. We were just exploring.
Look, we don't want no trouble. Just trying to do our work.
Beads of sweat have formed on his forehead despite the chilly air.
We'd be much obliged if you'd leave us be. And take that thing with you.
He looks at the devil with a mixture of terror and loathing. Enough. What do you see, Clarence Wong? Is that the man who torched us? The devil sways on her feet, her whole body moving around the axis of her ankles. Though she's talking to you, her attention, a concentrated spear of essence, is focused on Harmka. Read Harmka's soul. He steps away from you, but your awareness reaches through his trembling skin in the feeble resistance of his fear. You see memories, snow-shrouded forest partitioned by fallen pines and firs, days measured by the steady swing of your axe. There are other moments too, recollections that flit from a hearth's welcoming fire. These are children spry and lanky like you, but still full of rowdy energy of youth. Together, you scatter winter bloom petals on a grave. You reach deeper into Harmka's soul. Years roll back. A torch in your left hand bathes your face and shoulder in heat. All around you are other men and women holding other torches, and the mountain air is acrid with the stench of smoke and sweat. Rage billows off the others. It's been a fever in your blood for days now, exhausting you and invigorating you in equal measure. You are at the edge of that town, Cole's Morn. It's hours yet before dawn, but the commotion has started to awaken the village. Candlelight ignites behind frost-crested windows, and haunted faces peer out as you through the glass. You begin to doubt yourself. Just then a door slams. A villager comes racing through the street, kicking up snow. With his stark-white face and pale hair, he looks almost like a ghost. The line of torchbearers ripples as he gets closer. He picks up speed, but nobody moves towards him. You imagine him breaking through the row, shouting your ranks like a bad dream that brought you all here. You imagine waking up in your bed, the heat of your torch nothing more than the warmth of your wife sleeping next to you. Instead, the villager reaches the row of torchbearers a stone's throw away from you. A woman advances from the line and buries her dagger in his neck. The rest of your fellows shout. Rage, memory, and bloodthirsty triumph boil up in you. You all come with a purpose. You came to bring justice to the traitors of Cold Morn. The next few hours are painted in colors more vivid than life. You put your torch to anything that stands and your sword to anyone that runs. It is as if Marvin herself whispers in your ear and guides her hand. Exhausted has almost cooled your rage before you spy a house at the edge of town, one of the only buildings that hasn't already been burned. It's flanked by knotty spruce trees, and the door is painted yellow, the bloom of sunrise, the hue of your son's hair, the color of cowardice. Just then, someone barrels into you from behind. It's a man, someone you remember from the journey to Coldmorn, though you can't recall his name. He snarls at you, mad with indiscriminate rage, and it occurs to you that he's mistaking you for one of the villagers. You smash the window and hurl your torch inside. The other men have turned away. You think you hear a child shriek within the house, but it's impossible to tell above the roar of the riot. Harmker shivers as you pull away from his memory. His eyes are wide with guilt and fear. Spit it out, Clarence Wong. What did you see? It's not that simple. Don't give me that greasy horse shit. You looked into the squalid dregs of his soul. Tell me what you saw. She steps towards you, strangely clumsy. Heat patterns streak and flare across the body. The snow melts across her feet. You burn down your house. She stares at Harmka. You hear only a whirring mechanism in her throat, but Harmka leans closer.
What did you say?
What did it feel like? The torch in your hand, the blade you carried. What did that feel like? A wild, inhuman scream echoes out of the bizarre machinery of her throat. It drops Harmka and his companions to their knees, where they crowd in terror. Gears squeal and crank as she rushes at him. Alrighty. And these guys are just pretty easy. They're just woodcutters.
Almost 15 years I've been looking for him.
She stares ahead as you approach, the ink-black marbles of her eyes fixed on some distant point. Her essence swells and swirls in the throes of contemplation.
All that fretting and wondering. And the deed's over in less time than it takes to tell.
Harmka got what he deserved, and that's what matters.
Then I shiver to think on the judgment you'd pass on me.
A dry metallic chuckle echoes from her throat.
I killed a lot of folk in my time. Felt their blood slick in my hands. Smelled their flesh as it burned.
She holds her hands in front of herself as they twitch and spasm.
And I always used to imagine what it would be like to have Harmka under my knife, feeling his breath come hot and fast, smelling the fear ooze out of him.
Get on with it.
Couldn't feel a thing. His fading pulse weren't no more than a powder of rain to me.
She shrugs, letting her arms clatter to her sides. What do you mean?
This body, it weren't made for feeling. Gouging my fingers into Harmka's wasting flesh, his screams just buzzing in my skull.
She flexes and unflexes her fingers in a few lightning-quick motions.
All it did was remind me.
Of what?
That this is a madman's fever dream. Like a prison, but no, because in a prison, you lay your head down and you feel the straw soft beneath you. Your flesh prickling in the cold, black bread crumbling on your tongue.
She turns her arms in front of her, examining the scroll work on the backs of her hands with horror and wonder. Your body has unique strengths and advantages, too.
I'd trade 'em all if I could feel the snow cold around my ankles. I still dream I'm folk. I wake up some mornings wondering why I can't feel the floor beneath me, thinking I must have fallen and gone crippled. But then I lift my head, see a bronze corpse stretching out in front of me.
She lowers her head. A tremor runs through her. I'm sorry you have to go through that.
It's not pity I want, it's a choice. I dream too of what Galvino did that night. Those moments. I'd endure another cold morn if it'd spare me this fate.
She rubs her hands together, tracing her even joints with her fingertips. What happened exactly?
It was after I got caught in Stalwart. They'd locked me in a little house by the inn, the old mayor and his cronies.
Her head dips as she remembers.
When a crowd of them came for me in the dark of night, I was only surprised it had taken them so long. Only they didn't march me to no gallows. No. They snuck me to another house on the edge of town, real sneaky-like. That's where I met Galvino.
She raises her head, her black eyes shining. Galvino was living in Stalwart at the time?
True enough. This was before the locals gave him the boot. Still weren't a popular fellow, though. He was fiddling with some machinery in his workshop. Had his sleeves rolled up, even though it was cold enough to see your breath. Never actually looked at me until he started fitting some copper helmet over my head. By that time, the mayor's goons had me trussed up good and tight. Galvino was having himself a grand time barking orders at that lot.
What did the mayor have to do with this?
He'd agreed to hand me over to Galvino for an experiment.
She waves her hand at the word, metal flashing.
Claimed it was a fair punishment, but the townfolk weren't too pleased at being denied their stone pitching. Didn't help that they heard the jangle of copper in that deal. In the end, that's what sent Galvino and the old mayor packing.
I see.
So while Galvino's fastening that helmet over my head and them copper bands around my arms, I'm starting to look at his contraption. And that's when I see it.
Her black eyes are fixed on some indefinable point. Her essence dims.
It's this metal suit strapped into the machine, just like me. A cold, dead-eyed thing, all done up with fancy carvings and such.
She shivers, her joints chittering. This was the suit you inhabit now, you mean?
The one.
Her voice buzzes from her head, cold and distant.
I start asking Galvino and the rest of them what's going on, but they're too busy to answer. Then suddenly, they're waiting, staring at me with that fixed, horrified look. But they ain't watching me. They're watching for something to happen.
Her eyes flicker, rolling and scraping behind her face.
Galvino tells the woman nearest the machine to flip the handle. And then, just pain. Being torn apart every which way, feeling my soul peeled from my body.
Her limbs twitch and shudder. She pauses, waiting for her body to fall still.
By the time I came to, I couldn't feel a thing. Just this dull, distant sort of ache.
I heard the old man cackling and chattering. When I saw him looming over me, looking down at me with hungry eyes, I tried to scream, tried to swing at him.
I think that was when I knew.
She shakes her head and falls silent. Well, it's over now.
Don't much feel like it. The rest of Stalwart didn't take kindly to having a killer in their midst, nor to seeing their mayor and the Ornery Valians strike a secret deal. They drove Galvino out, destroyed a fortune in machinery, and wrote a letter to the Academy in Salona, ruining what was left of his name. Still, he's lucky he didn't get a pelting. The old mayor fled too, and Stalwart's been as snug and cheery as ever.
Now that we've dealt with Harmka, why have you stuck around?
You're better company than Galvino.
She says it in an offhand teasing fashion, but she looks away from you, fidgeting with a rivet.
Been a while since I were out in the world. Guess I'm keen on seeing more of it. Even if I'm stuck with a bleeding heart. Anyways, I've been wondering about that fortress.
Durgan's battery, what about it?
Near everyone thinks it'll have just the thing they need. Those villagers wanted to fix up their brook downtown. Galvino always thought it carried some great secret of Animanson. And all them adventurers came looking for fancy gear.
What were you hoping to find?
I don't know. Something to help me feel. Or forget. Effigy's eyes, maybe just something new.
The tips of her metal fingers clank together.
I just figured, with those dwarves being expert smiths and all, maybe they had something to unmake me. Put me back into my body.
At best, you'd be a vampire. Come to think of it, that might suit you.
You got a real knack for finding the upside.
Okay. So now that we're actually done with her quest, I actually am going to head back to Stalwart and trade her out probably for Zawa or another party member. Because yes, she has the highest mechanics, but it's only like 6 as opposed to 5. And that, frankly, is not doing us much, so... What do we got here? Nada.
It's all right. I knew what you were trying to say, and that's why.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for?
If you say so.
Yeah, I think I will take Zawa. And take a gold whale vest to get everyone a bonus. Level Zawa up. That's some stealth. Nothing can take a 3. For talent, it's going to be a class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we'll roll a d12. 11, which I believe is Arden's recovery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, so it's just a passive recovery like fighters have, which actually ain't too bad for a monk.
My thoughts wander often to the lost builders of this fortress we seek. They were erased from the world. I wonder, was it meant to be so?
No one deserves that. Few deserve
their fate. And even cruel fates have their purposes. Still, it is hard not to wonder why.
Hey.
So we are going to head to Durgan's battery and open her up. Once we load. Now, because I took those bounty quests, we will have the bounties somewhere on this map. I don't think they're in our direct line, but things could get tricksy. Yeah, I think they're like somewhere over here, maybe in this corner, I don't know. Actually, they might be over there. Oh, let's rearrange the party.
Hey.
That caravan must have had a half-ton of steel. Coinmaster Zoltan's finally getting his way.
For now, the other commandants will have his head.
Only if they don't tear each other to pieces first. I heard Maroon and Exandru.
Shh. Last thing I want is to get on Maroon's bad side.
Fine, just say the words then. I'm getting hoarse.
Hey.
The dwarves sealed the door, never to emerge again. If there are answers, they lie within.
Okay. So, the Canticus Hammers of Durgan, may the anvil deep resound, walls of the battery, and Abaddon's Faithful. I'm just doing a quick search through on my quests. Okay. Through the wind and ice have pried long, jagged cracks in the wall. The doors feel solid and as cold as a glacier. Gilded panels are arranged in columns along the doors, though most depict scenes from day to life, dwarves chiseling at tunnel walls, hauling minecarts, or feasting at long tables. One pane at eye level catches your attention. It's a relief showing a crenellated wall, and above it an indentation in the shape of an anvil. Place the anvil tile in the relief. The anvil-shaped tile fits perfectly in the impression. You feel a warm thrum in your fingertips as it snaps into place. Hammers of Durgan ring loud, may the anvil deep music resound. Distantly, you hear the melodic chime of metal on metal and the low chorus of a work song. Strike the anvil relief. As you do, a single ringing tone whistles through the air. Your hand buzzes and vibrates like struck metal. When you look back at the relief, the panels on either side of the wall and anvils have come alive. Ogres and warriors of all races gather for battle, their shapes and silhouettes formed by flaring, whirled heat patterns. The tiny figures move and dance, animated by the flicker and blaze of unseen fire. Walls of the battery safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. You hear the heavy thud of some kind of mechanism loosening behind the plaque. Push the crenellated wall relief. It slides easily with the slightest pressure from your fingers. You get it up and over the anvil relief where it clicks into place. Beneath it is a deep cavity. It's shaped like a dragon's gaping jaws. Abaddon's Faithful travail by the forge and the fires that brighten the ore. Warm air gusts from the open mouth, tingling your cold, numbed face. Examine the mouth more closely. The heat billowing from the mouth prevents you from getting too close, but the rim of the cavity and the tiny teeth surrounding it are blackened with soot. You accidentally inhale some of the vapor. It's odorless, but it leaves you lightheaded. You also notice that the dragon's tongue is a fire striker. It's hinged and attached to a chunk of flint. Press the dragon's tongue to light a fire in the mouth. Fire catches the warm vapor with a billowing whoosh. The dragon's eyes are alight and flames lick at the edge of the mouth. A few seconds later, the panels sliding away from you and its two enormous doors swing open into a grand hall. Alright, and we have arrived in Durgan's Battery. Okay, that's just a 5th rank attack in a few days. So, I'm actually going to call the stream here, because getting through Durgan's Battery proper is going to take a bit. So, a bit more than I have in me tonight. So, let's put a hard save in here. Next Monday should be the final Psychonaut stream. And then I will be streaming this again on Wednesday. So on Wednesday we should be finishing up Durgan's Battery, White March Part 1, and then the little bit remaining of Act 2 for the main game. Let me see if there's anyone to raid. Not right now. Well, thank you all for coming by. I hope you enjoyed it. The archive video will be up on my YouTube channel as always. And if you enjoyed it, hope you give a follow and get notifications and all that other content creator stuff I'm supposed to say and all that. But definitely look forward to finishing up this part of the game and finishing up Psychonauts Monday. Anyways, hope you all had a great night and continue to have a great weekend now. Bye-bye.